Hello and good evening for this Wednesday, September 20th, 2023. We have just finished watching the 20th episode of Big Brother 25, the Week 7 Power of Veto episode. We're just getting started here on Super Mader Brothers Podcasting, streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and on Twitch, or you might be listening to us audio wherever you get your podcasts. Welcome to the channel, and I'm Dave Mader, and I'm joined with Josh Foster tonight.
Heyo.
Hello, Josh.
How you doing tonight, Dave?
I'm well. You know, we weren't here Sunday for episode 19 because, well, it aired at like 11 o'clock at night on a Sunday, and I said, no podcast. We're not doing it.
That's way past my bedtime, Dave, so I don't blame you.
So for regular listeners, we are catching up here on this whole Week 7 developments. Of course, Jared winning the wall competition, which we kind of knew last Thursday in the spoiler section of the episode anyway. So we kind of did discuss it in that section of the podcast, but we're here tonight catching up on two episodes in some ways. And Foster, of course, you only really come once a week anyway, so we're catching up on the whole season and you know, episodes 19 and 20. But we're going to break it all down here tonight. Make sure to leave comments or questions in the chat about this season. You know, who's going? Okay, well, of course, we end up here with Cameron and America as our final nominations after this episode. Jag wins the Power of Veto in this episode and takes down Corey. Cameron's put up, which is what Jared wanted to do all along. But so I guess we can start with that question, Foster. You know, like just when the episode finished, were you like, Cameron's going, America is a potential? What?
You know what? Like, it was, well, first of all, Jag was smart. He said it right. You know, you take Corey down because America has a better shot, regardless of how the week plays out, to stay, you know, instead of Cameron, right? So it just seems that there's, especially when America has Corey the showman and Corey's in her corner, right? He seems like he's doing very well lately in the social dynamic of the game and understanding who's in what corner and who's, you know, got, you know, in whose ear, right? So that was a smart move by Jag in terms of, you know, looking towards, you know, the next, you know, the final five, if you will. If we're looking at, you know, in this episode, you see Jag, Matt, Blue, and Corey and America kind of, you know, loosely as a five, if you will, right? Because they were discussing Blue, Jag, and Matt, you know, which way they were going to go in terms of Jared and Suri or Corey and America, as that kind of as the house is divided right now. And it seems to me that, you know, Cameron's kind of this rogue agent, if you will, right? And, you know, he makes the pitch, you know, I'm, you know, better to keep around, you know, I'm more of a threat. But it seems to me that his time is coming short. You know what I mean? It doesn't seem like he's got a lot of options left. That was kind of his last Hail Mary, you know, for well-term use because of the football challenge today and tonight. And but no, I think that I would be surprised, very surprised, if America went home. What are your thoughts, Dave?
Yeah, I think that Cameron's value as a potential ally in the game is very low because yes, he can win challenges, so that normally would be a good thing. But I think that his social game has been so poor in the house, oblivious to himself, and I think that there is a disconnect between what the TV Cameron and I think living with Cameron in the house. To some extent. So I think that, yeah, like Jared going after Cameron this week kind of made sense. And although Corey, I agree with, you know, some of the other people in the game, and namely Cameron, that Corey is the bigger target or the bigger threat to Jared's game at this point. But Jared doesn't see it that way. And we have to talk about Jared as the architect of this week, the man in the driver's seat, and of course his mom Suri, who I'm getting well, spoilers ahoy here, but seems to be there was a quit attempt from Suri, which does kind of line up with what we saw in the episode tonight, Foster, that Suri goes to Jared at one point here and says, you know, if Cameron wins the veto and takes, you know, America down or something like that, then you'll have to put somebody up that, you know, put me up because I can survive next to Corey or something like that. But maybe that was more of her just wanting out. Maybe without Izzy, Sri doesn't know how to carry on in Big Brother 25.
It seems like it almost seems like Izzy like was such a glue for Suri in terms of like feeling that she was in a little bit more control, and with Izzy gone and Felicia clearly seeing, and we saw it early in the episode, right, with Felicia and McCole talking,
Right.
that
New final
Felicia,
two.
final two there, another final two deal, but Suri has like no one except for Jared now, and it's first of all I first want to say Jared is not a good player. he's very open about his plans and like just telling everyone that Cameron's his target. As much as it's a little obvious, it doesn't need to be so spelt out so clearly, in my opinion.
Okay. Well, I think we need to get to. I think maybe the proverbial elephant in the room being that we need to talk about the whole conversation between Jared and Blue in the HOH room, which is pretty early on in this episode, and I think was possibly the most cringy thing ever. Jared, I thought I'm not been a fan of this guy already, but this really cemented me with me is like I don't like this guy. Like he is just a jerk. And so this whole conversation with Blue, even though she's not exactly being using handling him with kick gloves, I guess is the term I'm looking for here. She's not being too delicate, but she's not being raising her voice or being upset or anything. She just kind of wants some information about what's happening, and he gets really upset and angry about it, and
he takes it really personal, and I'm a little baffled that at the beginning of the episode when they showed the flashback and he mentioned to Blue, I guess on I'm thinking Sunday, where he said that I'm related to someone in the house, right? And it was like, first of all, why are you putting yourself in that position? And second of all, I'm surprised that it still has not come out that those two are like mother and son.
Well, that's the great baffling thing. But now at this point, if people have connected those dots, I don't think they're going to now. It was going to happen early, if not. But some people have the ability to see that more than others, I guess. And when you have just 16 people randomly for across America, maybe some of them, majority of them won't. I don't know. Question here from Sam saying, do you think Blue will tell everyone Jared's secret, being that Teresa's mom? Do you think that Blue does talk about that in her diary room session? Like, I have this information. I could blow up his game, but she's not quite ready to do that either. She wants to kind of keep her options open with him because he could win power again. Who knows? He could win the veto next week and then be HOH right after that. You don't know. So
it does also, like, if she were to play this card now, it does put the spotlight on her, right? And not necessarily, obviously, it'll be a lot on Jared, but I think that she's afraid that she loses all of this pull with she's kind of in a good spot right now, right? Because she's not on anyone's top of the list. She's good with most of the people in the house, it seems like. So it seems like she's trying to just hold on to it for the right moment. But it seems to me that it's going to come out very soon. I feel like we're very close to the whole house understanding and realizing what what their relationship actually is.
Right. Okay. We'll see how that plays out. Question here for me, more directly: who is worse, Ty in Big Brother Canada 11 or Jared? Ty didn't Ty win?
Ty won.
Ty won. So I guess Jared is worse because Jared has not won a season and Ty did. So I think that would. But if Jared goes on to win this season, which I don't think will happen, but if he did, I would still pick Ty. Okay. Jeff, coming to us from the Jeffries tubes.
Yeah.
We were just talking about Jared, best Big Brother player ever, legacy, second generation reality TV star.
The apple definitely did fall far from the tree.
Yeah. Apparently, Cerie's been threatening to quit.
Wow, she might as well.
This conversation here between Jared and Blue tonight, guys. Let's watch a clip here.
What else are you being told? Don't start doing that to me, bro, because that makes me feel like I can't trust you.
That's fine. There's certain things that...
So it's fine that I can't trust you. Yeah, that doesn't sit well with me at all.
Don't be sucking your lips at me.
Don't you do that, bro.
Don't be sucking.
That doesn't sit well with me. I feel like I can't trust you. She's like, well, that's fine.
I wouldn't be sucking my teeth if I didn't have reason to be sucking my teeth, okay? We used to believe in something, T.
Blue was not too happy with him. And who can blame her?
At least she sees through it, and she's not like, there's I've seen so many, I guess you could maybe call this a showmance, but I've seen so many showmances, and we saw it in Big Brother Canada where what's her name was I forget her name, was blinded by her loving of Ty, right?
Right. Oh, geez, we forget their names so fast. Because
I know, right?
We're on to a new season, but
yeah, but you know what I mean, though, right? Like usually, like people will or can like showmans will kind of overlook some of their social or personal flaws, right? Because they want to stick together. But Blue kind of sees it right away and is like, that didn't sit well with me either. Like that
Claudia, we're thinking of Claudia.
Claudia, thank you. Yes.
Yeah, but Claudia did turn on Ty in a sense, but then kind of didn't rejoin with him. I don't know. So you could compare Ty and Claudia to Jared and Blue, maybe. I don't know. We'll have to see how this season plays out, but it could be Jeff. But Jag tells Blue in the scene before that, like, Jared's being all condescending, that you need to get away from Jared because your proximity to Jared is going to hurt your game. And that kind of, leads into that whole conversation where he's kind of coming down because she starts grilling him about this other alliance that he doesn't remember or whatever. And, it's just Jared's game. But he doesn't even realize he fights the wrong way, treads water downward, sinks down.
Yeah, he's pretty like unaware player. It's really, it's rough to watch, but I don't feel sorry for him. So
he'll be gone. No. He'll be gone soon. He'll be gone within 2-3 weeks, I think. Like it'll be interesting because it's a double eviction tomorrow, right? So it'll be really interesting to see how quickly or who goes out, because obviously with double eviction, people scramble, right? And things can get a little messy sometimes.
Right. Well, let's also talk about, like the conversation that happens, but even before they even pick the players for the veto, which was kind of like this floater middle group that which consists of like Jag and Matt, but also Blue. And they're kind of saying that there's a Corey and America side, and there's a Jared and Saria side, I guess, and and then they feel like they're in the middle, and they're kind of trying to decide, even going into this veto, do they want to take Corey down? Is getting Corey out this week versus Cameron better or not, or aligning with Corey in America advantageous for them? And that kind of leads to what we see in the episode where ultimately Jag will win this veto after Corey picks him, and then he'll take Corey down. So they decide that they don't want to work with Jared, I think, is more than anything, right? And so it's kind of just deciding how they want to play this out, with knowing that Blue is right, on Jared's side, by his side all the time, I guess, But Matt, more specifically, Matt and Jag, the Watchmen, they really talk it through, guys.
Yeah, they're kind of in the driver's seat of the house now. It's funny how that's turned, but
right. They kind of figured out what's going on here, and
only because Jared and Sari kind of like Sari got stuck in a kayak with Felicia, and then Jared just destroyed their game. Really,
right?
It's kind of what happened, and so these two just kind of picked up the pieces and now are running with the house. It was really stupid for Jared to go after Cameron. It was just and Sari should have said, I don't know about this, but he never did.
You don't see that scene here, and then Cameron goes and makes this pitch, which kind of makes sense, but then Jared's like, Cameron, you will always be a bigger threat to me than Corey. But that's not objectively true because Cameron's on his own. He's alone, but he's a comp threat. But more than that, I just don't think they like living with him, a lot of the house guests. And so I think that they would rather not see him get to the jury phase either. If they can get rid of him this week, get him in a back door. Is this like, why would you vote out America over him, for instance, is kind of what we're left with by the end of this.
Well, because America has allies. That's why.
Because what?
Because America has allies.
America has allies, but not as much chance to win. So I guess Jared, it's coming down to who you think is going to win HOH.
Why? Why does it come down to that? Because I don't think it should. I think it should come down to who's aligned with who. And if you take like America out, for instance, you're taking a number away from Corey. You take Cameron out, you're taking a number away from nobody. Makes no sense.
Right. True, but
here's the thing, though, right? Jared is looking at it like who's on his level, right?
Nobody.
No, but that's the thing, though, right? But Jared's won enough
competition-wise,
just like Cameron, right? Where he feels that he's the threat against him for comps, right? So he's not looking at Corey as the same level as him because he's not looking at him as a social player. He's looking at him as a comp player.
Big Brother is not Survivor. Big Brother is not about comps. You know,
but Jared comes from Survivor. He grew up in Survivor.
This is the problem. You know, this is a huge part of his thinking that is the problem. Because
it's not just about immunity challenges or whatever.
Yeah, like Jag and Matt said it to each other tonight. They're like, we'll just wait until we get power, and then we will take Jared out. You know,
which is what Corey says too. You know, he's like, I will totally take you out, Jared.
And Jared should have been smart enough to realize, or Sari should have been smart enough to realize that no, keeping Cameron around is way better. You know, for his game right now. It was better 2 weeks ago to get rid of Cameron for Jared's game, but now his game's blown up. So now you know what? Like you have to change. You have to pivot. You're not pivoting.
Right. Without pivoting. Okay. Well, let's get to your favorite part of the episode, Foster. The veto, the competition. Now, of course, or the challenge, if you will. Now, we had Jared and Corey and America playing this. So we go to pick the players, and Cameron believes, and I think even Corey told Cameron he would potentially pick him for this. But doesn't do that ultimately. So yeah. So Jared picks Bowie Jane here. So Bowie Jane finally gets to be on the show a little bit in this episode, although it's not much. And then we get the house guest choice for Corey. You know, what could be better? And he doesn't pick Cameron, but kind of knows he promised it. Picks Jag. Jag ends up winning, takes him down. So it looks pretty smart here on Corey. And then it can't be anybody but Cameron. America can pick anybody but Cameron. Nobody will be happy if Cameron plays in this veto. And guess what? Cameron gets picked. It was great TV. It was a great moment here when he gets picked for this veto, and everyone's not happy, you know, because you can just feel it. I get strategically Cameron would make sense to keep over America, perhaps, but they don't want to be with Cameron anymore, guys. I don't think that's
no. It's from what I've understood the last few weeks. Cameron, like you keep saying, Dave, is we don't see it. You know, maybe the live feeds are showing it, but he's not living. It's not a healthy environment. It sounds like with the camera around.
Apparently, he's very condescending in conversations. Like he just speaks to people in a way that you wouldn't like. So I think that's the disconnect between the TV Cameron and the house guest Cameron, right? I think is a bit there.
Yeah, it's kind of weird because I find him actually kind of like fun on the show.
Yeah, no, I like Cameron too.
Like he's a good character because I think like
they don't even portray him like he's this big asshole.
No, because I think he's giving them stuff in the DR they can work with versus like maybe someone like Bowie Jane, who I don't think is. If Bowie Jane wasn't picked for this veto tonight, she would not have been on the show. We'd be like, Bowie Jane, where does she sit in all of this madness on the sides of the house? Doesn't matter. She's not in the mix, guys. She's like this could be a Victoria player, perhaps. Well, that's a Big Brother 16 reference, which I guess Foster wouldn't know. But okay, let's talk about the competition itself, Foster. It was fill the thing up with the fluid. There was the feet spraying sweat, but it was really just water. You had to make the little floaty football come up the tube. I thought this was good tonight. This worked okay for me because they were getting sprayed in the face a lot, and it was more of a physical survivor-esque competition, maybe even where you had to, work at it. Like, this was physical. This was about the best time. There was no like Yankee swap. You're trading the veto for $5,000 or something like that. This was just best time, and Jag ends up winning this within 4 minutes and change. But it was kind of interesting to see their different strategies to filling up their little helmet, which was what the bucket they had to use to do it. Cameron's technique using the ear hole, I think, was particularly good, and I also thought that the production value looked pretty good here with these feet and each veto player getting a unique football competition with their name on the back, and each got like a unique color. Very Survivor-esque too. Guys, what are your thoughts?
I'll jump in here. Like, I thought it was a pretty good challenge. I thought it was not easy. I do like challenges where the other competitors don't get to see what's going on, and they're kind of on their own every single time. That kind of gives a little bit more of a little bit more. What's the word I'm looking for? Even strength, if you will, for everyone, right? Everyone's on the same kind of level playing field, right? But it seemed to me that a lot of them picked up on the pattern pretty quickly, or at least via their diary rooms, whether they were quick or not. It seemed to me that first of all, I thought it was a longer challenge than 4 minutes. It seemed like a lot longer.
Well, for some of them it was. We only got the top 3 scores here. We don't even know what Corey's time was or America's. Or who else did we get to know? Bowie Janes. We don't know what their times were at all. So, I guess he was using the ear hole too. I didn't notice that. There Corey was in the replay, but he wasn't better than Jared, who came third. Because Jared did it in 6 minutes or something.
It's like, it was almost 6 minutes. Yeah, it was like 4 minutes, and then it was like just over, like almost, it was like 4:40 or something like that, or 4:50 for Cameron. And then Jared had like 6 minutes, I think. You're right. So something like that.
Here goes Bowie Jane. Bowie Jane was having a rough night on this. Veto wins 0. What guys, what about these little cards that they would put under during the players? Like these little like those.
Just like, basically just like, I think they're just kind of building on the football stats thing, right? They're just giving up. But like, I thought it was a little cheesy because like they were just kind of dumb stats. Like even like, well, the Jared one was like 2 HOH wins and 1 mom in the house. Like, right. Like, okay, sure, that's great and all, but okay, like it just didn't, like, I don't know. Yeah. So like I liked the it didn't seem like it was an easy challenge, that's for sure. Despite how quick the actual thing was, right? So,
chicken suits, that was a stat thrown on here for Jag. How many chicken suits has he worn? 1. He's the only one with a chicken suit count in this season. Put that on the stats. Put that on the trading cards.
They also could have made this a lot. Like, once again, I thought it was a longer competition, and I think they could have made it a little bit harder. I don't know, maybe a bigger, like wider container. I don't know, but I thought it, like, I didn't realize how quick it was until they released announced the results.
Based on the way they edited this, were you surprised Jag won it? I know we talked about it on Monday at lunch, but I guess imagine you didn't know this in advance. I guess Foster, were you surprised based on how they showed this tonight that it would end up being Jag?
Yes and no. Like I had to step out for the dog real quick, so I did miss a little bit of Jag's performance. But to be honest,
okay. Well, maybe that question should go to Jeff.
Yeah, go to Jeff.
Were you surprised Jag was the one with the best time? Based on
I thought the show, the way it edited it, made it seem like Cameron won. You know, I
Right.
think
It
that
seems
was
like
all-
based on this edit I'm seeing, it seems like Jag went slow because there's a lot of intercuts. We see him jumping around the field a little bit, but even though his diary room explains, you see him wipe out a couple times too. And so it's like, oh, he didn't do well, but he did the best.
I think that was the point. Was they wanted the common viewer to think Cameron won,
Right. Just for him not to.
and
Do you
I think the producers wanted him to win.
Oh, that was great. Let's watch here. Let's watch. Oh, Jared. Boom. Oh, that's satisfying. Jared playing for the Eagles. Yeah. Well, it did make for good TV. I guess. Like, did the producers want Cameron to win this tonight, or was this the next best thing?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they probably it probably would have been in their best interest if Cameron won, just because I would assume that, you know, once again, like from what we've seen with Cameron, just like as you said, Jeff, like it's like Cameron's enjoyable to watch, right? So from the viewer perspective, you want to continue that streak, right? But obviously in the house within the game, he's not going to last very long. And obviously the producers know that, right? So, you know, this was kind of his like last, you know, looks like last shot. Obviously it's all current right now, right? So obviously they don't know until tomorrow who's evicted. But no, for sure, I think that they would have wanted Cameron to win and continue his kind of reign of, you know, skimming or just escaping the eviction.
Do you think it was hazardous how they slid into the the uprights on this slip and slide at the end of the competition?
I thought they were supposed to spike it. That's what the rules said. They were supposed to spike the ball at the end, and they just kept sliding into the end.
Everybody just slid right through without.
I guess it didn't matter.
I guess it didn't matter, but they said you had to spike it in the rules. So, but that's not a promo for Yellowstone. Show Jared falling down. I did. I cried when America. Sam, I don't think you went America. Team Samerica. That should have been your thing. That would have been your relationship name. I think you asked that earlier. What was my relationship? What do you think? What do you think my couple name is for me in America? It's Samerica. Yeah, 100%. Okay, guys. So we ultimately we get the play out. Yeah, I think it would have been more. They even gave. Sorry, I'm digressing here, but they even gave Matt his own referee outfit here just to host the results.
Yeah, that was interesting because he wasn't actually a part of the actual competition, right? Because America read it out of the first of what the rules were, and I'm sure they all had to read it before they started. But Matt kind of just got this kind of easy figurehead kind of role, and he just was like, okay, here's the results, guys, and, you know, put on this Foot Locker shirt, and
somebody has to award the Power of Veto, so it's going to be you, Matt. So, you know, and they're all in their football gear, you know. So okay, let's get to the end of these. So it takes them a while to unveil these times, right? 5:22. And what was Jags here? I just want to get to Jags time. They were all just happy Cameron didn't win. Everyone cheers. And Jag must know it's him at this point. 4:43.
Okay, so it wasn't 4 minutes. Okay, fair enough.
4:43. There you go.
But yeah, no, I think it's like it just seems like it's once Cameron's gone, there's no kind of middle person to kind of target, right? And then you'll really see the Corey America side, or if you want to call it that, versus Sari and Jared, right? But the problem is that Jared's playing loose and not well, and Sari kind of looks like she's given up in a sense, right? So it's like, how much of a fight is there really going to be?
How much, like, this might be a domination by, okay, let's say Corey wins next week. He gets out Jared. Sari might self-evict. And you know, it could be a very new thing. And we got this double eviction tomorrow night, right?
Yeah.
That's tomorrow. That still happened. Did they even like say that tonight on the episode that I could? Did I miss that?
They said at the very end. They said that double evictions tomorrow night, and then it's a launch into this scary verse week, which is I guess the one we've never seen before, which they always say that. So we'll see what that means. But once again, like if they're going to do it all tomorrow, it's going to be a real scramble fest, but they're going to show like a little bit of clips before the eviction. They're going to do the eviction very close to the beginning of the episode, most likely, and then they're going to have to power through head of household, POV, or nominations, POV, and then another eviction tomorrow night. It's going to be a whirlwind, it seems like. Who do you guys think is going to be on the block like tomorrow night after theoretically?
Jared.
Jared, you think is the top one, Jeff? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think everybody wants to put him up unless Sari wins HOH.
That's true. Yeah, that
Jared
is the only-
can't.
yeah.
So
It's basically is unless Sari or Blue maybe wins HOH. I don't
even
really
Blue
see-
may want to target Jared at this
I
point.
don't think so. I don't think she'll do that. But beside that, I think most of the people maybe Blue gets like maybe Jag and Mac in Blue's ear. I just don't know if she'll do it.
Like, would Blue put up somebody like Mecole and Felicia?
I
Bowie
could see her
Jane.
putting up,
Bowie
like,
Jane might hit the
I was
block.
gonna say- yeah, I was gonna say Bowie Jane. Yeah, that's a kind of an easy choice at this point.
Yeah.
It's not really aligned with anybody.
Maybe she
else.
should have tried to win that HOH. Like
Sam predicting a backdoor for Jared or just a Jared and Suri nomination. Could be, but so chances of Suri winning HOH, not impossible, but low. I would say based on just performance in the past.
That's
It
like
can't be Jared. So most people would want to put up Jared or get Jared out, assuming that they vote out Cameron tomorrow night first. But maybe not, because I just think Jared being a competition threat and the fact that this is a chance to get him out without any kind of major drama, which we know Jared is capable of, this would be very tempting for most of the house.
Well, it's once again like it was interesting because it felt like the last week, 2-3 weeks, Corey has really come alive socially and really started to influence the house, in terms of like this is how things are going, and people are starting to become aware of it, right? And Jared is definitely, like you said, Jeff, top of the list once Cameron's gone. I think it's pretty obvious, especially with the amount of comps he's won, right? You see a lot of these, this season with Big Brother. As soon as you win a few competitions, you're the biggest threat, right? And that you're the biggest target, right? So once Cameron's gone, then that next person is Jared, and his time won't be long because his mother can't save him. I don't think she has the ability to at this point in the game.
no, but she was willing to, get voted out.
She says, Jared, put me up next to somebody, if Cameron wins this veto and takes America down or something like that.
Yeah. And he's like, no, I can't do something smart. Like
He's like, I hear what she's saying, but I'm not going to do that. And I don't know, like, is Jared might be the next Cameron. He might become like the new house, like, idiot, I guess, and somebody that no one's feeling too threatened by, even if he can win power.
Jaemeel has a good comment there, Dave.
Oh, Jaemeel coming to us live from Ether. Where is he? Oh, there he is. Cass feels there is a double election, so they're sensing that this is coming. Some are speculating that there may be a split house like last year, especially because they haven't stocked the pantry as of late. So everyone's been a have-not all week, right? Is that what's been happening?
no, that was last week, wasn't it?
That was last week.
Yeah.
So, split house. Oh, like where half live outside, half live inside, like that again. That I don't know if that was kind of interesting last season. I kind of liked that in some ways. So would you guys want to see something like that happen?
We'll elaborate on that because I'm not familiar with what happened with that last year.
Okay, so when they got down to like final 10 or so, they split like the house 5 and 5. So there was 2 head of households basically.
Oh,
Right. And half of them had to live in the backyard all week, cut off completely from the people inside who couldn't go outside at all. Like, so there was the inside people and the outside people. And so they both had households. They both nominated 2 people. They played a veto, and then basically 2 people voted out with the head of household in both cases being the tiebreaker if necessary. So, and it split alliances. They didn't know it was coming. It was kind of an interesting twist, although the people living outside had it rough. They were basically like camping outside all week. and that's a little tough to do. I think.
Yeah, I would be. I would probably go a little stir crazy if I was out in that little area for that long.
Right, especially hot. It's so hot in the day. It's so cold at night. It's just
Yeah, it seems a little extreme, but it's just it's just me.
Yeah, not to mention there's bugs and there's you're urban camping, right? So, and the people out, people inside, they don't get any like sunlight. They get no like exposure to the fresh air, so they're a little cooped up as well. But they have it better comparatively. So.
We haven't touched upon the new power duo in the house, which is the very, very powerful McCall and Felicia final two that started off the episode. I made a note and I was saying that it's great to see them finally come alive. Like Felicia's aware of what's going on. McCall's starting to, do a little bit. And, it's nice to, McCall's been laying real low. And
Mimi, they call her Mimi.
Mimi, yeah. And it's been, it's a good strategy, that's for sure. But she kind of understands what's going on, but she's kind of still laying low until she needs to, which may or may not help. In the jury, there's not going to be, she doesn't really have a lot on her resume right now. So it almost seems like she's just trying to get to the end, or at least until she needs to try. Like in competitions, I mean.
Right. Yeah, Jeff, what was your reaction to the Mikol Felicia final two? This is the new, watch out, Jag and Matt. You got another power duo.
Yeah. McCall better have a better plan than this. That's what I thought.
She's resting our whole game on Felicia?
It's a stupid plan. It's not bad to have her on her side. That's good. But to be all in on
ride or die with Felicia,
I don't think it's gonna really work out. She should probably try to align with Bowie Jane. They could be like the Misfit Alliance or something. Like maybe get one more player. That's who else is on the kind of the outside. Maybe
just be like a voting block of people.
Yeah, you can't though. They have to recognize that at a certain point the house is gonna split, and it's already happening. You're seeing it, but it's basically going to be Matt, Jag, Blue, and Corey America on one side of the house, and then the other side of the house is going to be Sari, Felicia, McCall, Bowie Jane. It was Cameron, but he wasn't really with anybody. You know what I mean? That's kind of
so we're kind of back to the original split of the house with the professors and what was the other side called? I can't remember.
It doesn't matter. But what matters is you see it. You see it happening. These are the two groups that are forming, and
mostly younger versus older,
pretty much, and better at comps. I don't just mean the physical comps, but the mental ones too. The Corey America side's gonna kind of steamroll if that's what happens.
Maybe I don't know. I'm not too impressed with Corey's competition prowess yet, but we'll see. Jaemeel commenting here that he's working nights this week, but he will be with us tomorrow for the double, so that's exciting, guys. All right. Well, anything else here in this episode that we didn't cover?
No, it was pretty. It felt pretty cut and dry. There wasn't a lot of I missed the kind of confrontation between Corey and Jared. I don't know if that was I think it was last Thursday.
They showed it on Thursday. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So it's I guess the only other thing actually.
Or Sunday. Was it? Or it was Sunday, wasn't it? I don't know. Jeff, when did we see the whole fight between Corey and Jared? Was that on Sunday?
Yeah. Well, yeah, Sunday.
Sunday, because they were and nobody wanted Jared to win the HOH, and then he won the HOH, which was great. I love that result because even though I don't like Jared, I was the fact that nobody wanted him to win and then he won, because there was this huge fight between Corey and Jared. And then he puts up Corey, but he doesn't even really want to target Corey, even though he should. This is some good stuff. Interesting. Keep going.
No, I just had a couple more kind of cleanup points that I wrote down. So one, I thought, why is Cameron hugging Jared after Jared puts him up? He's like, no problem, man. It's all good. It's just like, why? I don't like. Once again, I like fight, like get angry at each other. Like, why are you?
That's tradition. That's Big Brother tradition. You always hug. It's not.
Goodness.
This isn't the challenge, Foster. You have to hug. Even your enemies.
You hug all the time. Come on, you
It's always a hug. Jeff, am I wrong? When did they establish the hugging tradition of Big Brother?
Oh, I don't know. That's a good question. Well, I don't think they did that from the beginning. That's like, I want to say around like Dan season probably is when it started. They definitely didn't do it.
This is only in the later seasons. You're saying like now everyone hugs. The nominees always hug.
Yeah.
Everyone present hugs.
I don't think like the first like 7 or 8 seasons they did this. I could be wrong about that, but I don't think they did this for like All-Stars.
And they do this after noms too, don't they?
Yeah, they do it all the time. It's annoying.
And they do it after evictions.
Yeah, it's because they have nothing else to do.
So they hug.
So they hug, and it's just nonsense. It's just kind of stupid. It really is. It's just like it's giving the camera something to film so they can play like their music.
They can play music, and then they have their little diary rooms and edited over top. They probably say everyone now hug so that we could put this on, and then you put your diary room sessions on top of this.
Yeah, I was saying to Amanda, like, why couldn't they do a season like Big Brother Australia where they make Big Brother like a character and that like in Big Brother Australia, what happens is like Big Brother talks to the contestants when they come into the DR, and it's like part of the show. And like he kind of has like a monotone voice. He goes like he'd be like, "Hi, Corey. How are you feeling?" And he's very much like, what's the guy in 2001: A Space Odyssey?
Hal.
Like, Hal. It's very much like Hal.
He's always talking to Dave, which is my name. So
yeah. So it would be good if they did that.
Yeah.
Just one season. Just try it out. I think it would be cool.
Are you excited about the double eviction tomorrow, Jeff?
Yeah, sure.
Are you would you rather expect the unexpected or something, or would you rather
I don't really know. Like I
just see Jared go. Is Jared Exton has the best results?
I'm kind of over Jared on the show, to be honest. He's kind of annoying. And I think the show's over. Like I think the show's kind of over him and a little bit Felicia.
Yeah, Jared's responses are very ass, as you would say.
Well, this is like a group thing, It's not
I
just
get it,
you.
but calm down, bro.
Okay, don't tell me to calm down.
But you raising your voice for no reason.
I'm just talking regularly.
Jared's response was honestly so ass.
Yeah.
Ass.
It was pretty ass.
Yeah,
so
like
ass.
He just put it back on her and was like, What are you attacking me? And she's just like, I'm just asking you a question.
Don't you be raising your voice to me.
Don't you talk to me like that. I'm the head of household.
I think he's just like, he might be one of the worst HOHs I've seen play the game. Like he's just so bad. Like he does all the wrong things. Like he's like, no, I'm gonna sewer my closest ally in the house for no reason other than
my showmans.
Well, yeah, like, but it's like the showmance doesn't even matter to him, Like it's there's
when Sari said, let's vote out blue. Remember when Sari came to Jared about the blue, and he was like, I'm not having it. I have to be my own man and whatever.
Yeah, but he's not. He's so not his own man as far as the strategy that he employs in the house. Like all he cares about is like Sari staying safe. And basically, like he has no control. Like he's not good at manipulating other people. That's all Sari's game. But he's the one getting the power, and then having these one-on-one conversations and completely ruining it. It's
if he could just win the power and then listen to his mom. If she just told him what to do and he listened, it would probably be okay. But
yeah, like that's what he should be doing.
But he's not going to do that.
He's an idiot. Like he should know his mom has so much experience.
He should be like, what do I do?
And what do I do? What do you think? What should we do? How should we proceed? How do we make sure everyone's on our good side? How do I keep Blue close?
She's like, you should put me up. He's like, no.
Yeah, no, she's like, I want to go home, and he's like, you're not going home.
You're not
You
going
know?
home. But yeah, I evicted my own mom. I'm not.
Yeah.
Like-
Oh my God, if Probst ever got caught wind of that, you evicted your
Did
own mom.
a ruthless Big Brother player. You
Yeah.
know, like even Sri would know that. Like Jeff would
That's what
love
it
this in
takes
casting.
in this game. Is you got to put that aside. You got to dig.
You got to dig. You got to go full tilt boogie. You know.
I agree with you. That's the only way to play Survivor is full tilt boogie every single second of every single day.
Full tilt boogie.
Full tilt boogie.
Even the contestants were like, okay, Jeff.
That's the only way to play Survivor. Okay, well, I'm excited for this double eviction tomorrow. I'm hoping Cameron and Jared both got out of the season. Then I think this season could actually get a little bit more even interesting because I'd like to see how the player, when these two bigger than life idiot personalities are out of the way who win competitions, what the other players then do. Do we see some people step up like Bowie Jane, like Nicole, like Felicia, like Blue? See them do something this season, instead of just sort of coasting. I hope so. We'll see. Okay. And while we're talking Jeff Probst, guys, a week from tonight, we are going to start our coverage here on the channel of Survivor, season 45. Is that what we're up to now? Survivor 45. We did our draft the other night. And we started. It took a place, last week or so. I got Bruce, the guy who hit his head off of the
He's going to do it again.
He's going to do it again. I got the clip. We should just remind ourselves. Bruce.
You got to get under that first beam, then through the mud. Brandon hit the mud first. There goes Matt.
See, he hit himself twice, though.
Yeah, this was rough. Like, he's nearly split his head open. He did it twice, too. You're right. Oh, so bad. So he's going to be back.
I don't know how you don't get a concussion. I'm sure
I don't look at how he didn't decapitate the top of his head off. Just slice, because he hit that wood so hard,
There are guys in the NHL or NFL, and they get tackled once, and they're like, I can't see straight,
Right.
and I understand, but that's even worse because he's not wearing a helmet.
He was not wearing a helmet, and he went full tilt boogie, Probst likes, and that's what happens. So just let's while we're talking about it, guys, let's just have a quick look at all of our draft teams heading into Survivor 45. We got Team Amanda with Sabia and Katura from the Lulu and Bello tribes. We got Team Daryl with Sifu and Brando, Rebo and Bello. We got Jake and Bruce, my team, Team Dave, both Bello. This is the team. I got, of course, Jake is my true pick, and Bruce is sort of my underdog here. He's, you got to see this guy who came back from nearly getting himself killed, smashing his head. He's going to now come in here and do well. We got Team Foster, Austin, and Kendra.
Feeling good about my picks. Feeling good.
Jeff. I think before Jeff, we got Team Jaemeel. He got the Canadian in Caleb from Vancouver, and Emily, who I passed over for Bruce. So both from Lulu. And for Jeff, we also have Jane. Jane had the first pick, taking Brandon and Julie. And
Questionable picks,
perhaps. Well, so Brandon, and not to be confused with Brando, he went first overall. That's based on his shirt, perhaps. Now we get to Team Jeff, Team Drew and Hannah from Reba and Lulu. A couple of glasses wearing people.
I went for glasses. I wear glasses, so I figured got to represent.
Have you ever read Lord of the Flies? What happens with Piggy and the glasses, right? So,
yeah. Well, you can't underestimate the nerds. That's what I say in this.
Then you got Team Jen. You got Kelly and Jay Maya. And Team
Jay Maya's smiling I know.
I don't know what to make of that smile. It's almost a constipated smile from Jaemeel.
It's a
And
little
then-
like, I know you know, I know you know.
That, at best, that's the best case scenario. Like what that smile means.
That or
Like,
she just farted. It's one or the other.
or she's could be both. I don't know.
And then Kelly on the left's like, okay, settle down.
She's on Bella with Bruce and who's my other guy, Jake. And then got Sean, Team Sean, who also has a Sean, and D. And that's it. So check that out. So I think Wednesday nights are now going to become Survivor nights, and so we'll probably only be doing Sundays and Thursdays for Big Brother for these last couple weeks, probably. Unless we're able to divide and conquer, but we don't need to. I think we all like doing Survivor. It kind of mixes it up, especially after we've been doing 7 weeks of Big Brother. All right. Well, on that note, I think we'll sign off for the night. I think I like the way this season of Big Brother is going. I want to see like these next 2 evictions play out, get this double done, and we're almost to the jury phase at that point. And I think that I'm kind of interested to see how this plays out long term, because I think that the cast mostly has been interesting, although some of them are invisible, so that's concerning. But not. I don't think it's breaking the season either. Any final thoughts, guys?
I think that you're right, Dave. I think that tomorrow's double eviction is going to be a big one, and that'll be leading into the jury, right? And we'll just see, right? Like I think your concerns are valid. I think that there's going to be an issue with if McCall, Felicia, and Bowie Jane all go to the jury. It's like, who are they voting for?
And who are they as characters on this show? I'm still not even sure. Like that's what I'm still trying to. I'm still trying to get. I know Nicole gets annoyed by people, and I don't know anything about Bowie Jane other than she's from Australia.
Good day,
Julie. She lives for that, like to make her shout outs to Australia in like when she votes somebody out. And other than that, I think that's all I really know about Bowie Jane. So, good day, Julie.
Hi, Julie. Have you had shrimp on the barbie today?
Yeah. Dingo ate you, baby.
Jeff Probst would love her.
Yeah. You're going to Survivor Australia.
Tell me, Bowie Jane, what's it like being an Australian in this game of Survivor where nobody's Australian?
Well, Jeff. I should get those Cheetos. Anyway, we'll be back tomorrow night. Make sure to join us. Check out our other stuff here on the channel. According to Survivor, we already mentioned, and we have a Marvel playlist where we talk about all the new MCU stuff. And our this channel is part of a greater federation. We call it the United Federation of Podcasts. We're at ufpodcast.com. You can find a whole bunch of different podcasts by us and by a lot of our friends who cross over and cover a bunch of different topics, like we do Star Trek on Live Long in podcast. We also have a new guy coming in, Merrick, who has the Night Shift podcast, also about Star Trek. He'll be joining our network soon. And we got Trivial Debates going on, where we have that's an argument show where we have a host and 3 contestants. Coming up soon, I think it's this Saturday, Transformers. Jody Simpson hosting with they're arguing about the Transformers, the old cartoon mostly, from what I understand. Eamon Mater talks about music albums, where he's my son, and he talks to me, he talks to others. They listen to an album, they talk about it. Check out Eamon on Track, Hellbound podcast with Michael Chan, Alex Blackburn, talking horror and other related subjects. X-Rated, which is about X-Men, most specifically X-Men the animated series, and the Graphic Histories podcast with André, where he interviews all kinds of people from entertainment, and Hold Up, a movie podcast coming up next week. I think 2 weeks from now, because I had to bump it because of Survivor, because I won't be there for the second week of Survivor. We are going to be talking about 3 movies from space: Outland, Apollo 13, and Ad Astra. So that's going to be exciting. Try that on Hold Up, October 4th. I'll be on there. So, all right. Well, have a good night, everybody. Make sure to love one another. See you on the flip side. And I want to believe you, Jarrett, but I just don't know. Have a good night, guys. See ya.
Are we okay?
No, because I still feel some type of way. that really rubbed me the wrong way, bro.
About what? I was just asking you questions.
Like, I want to believe him.